My name is Rhapsody. Welcome back to the daily challenge for February the 2nd, 2020 here in Slay the Spire. We are playing the character The Defect. Heirloom means we start with one rare relic, and Vintage means normal enemies drop relics instead of cards. However, elite enemies still drop cards, which is important because Big Game Hunter, elite enemies are now swarming the Spire and drop better rewards. The better rewards is that they drop rare cards, so I really can't avoid taking rare cards in this. So this is not a Paupers build. It's also probably not a collector's build. It's probably not like a super thick deck build, obviously, considering how difficult it's going to be to get cards. Okay, 5 elite path on the left. Couple early fights, sure. So basically I'm going to be almost entirely reliant on the relics to end up carrying me, because I'm not getting any early cards here, not really. Oh, gosh. Accuracy on those cards is ridiculously low. Ooh, ceramic fish will never trigger for us. Whenever you add a card to your deck, gain 9 gold. Perfect. Love it. No, I'm not going to get enough cards to put 5 curses in my deck without being the saddest man of all time. The fact that we're seeing a vintage means that, hopefully, for the people that find, you know, pauper, collectors, curses, and the kind of similar stock standard build for a lot of these different dailies in order to optimize for score. Hopefully this will satisfy you. You know what? I'll go with the strike. It's 9 damage. 12 total to leave the lightning to go. Yeah. I'm pretty pleased with that, frankly. Sundial, every 3 times you shuffle your draw pile, gain 2 energy. That's really good, actually, because we're going to have a very small deck. Interesting. Interesting. I want Hand of Greed because it's a giant amount of damage. Equilibrium's also quite cheap here, and I'd love to take it. If I could also get Leap, I'd take Leap, but I can't also get Leap. Okay, Equilibrium, Hand of Greed. No, I can! Never mind. Sorry. I was off by 10. I thought we had 47 after that. Cool. I should really get a second orb out before we start this fight. I'm gonna Equilibrium, just setting up for a Hand of Greed next turn. To wake the enemy up with. There you go. Speed Potion Equilibrium here does... Fine, I'm gonna do it. I don't know if this is a good idea, though. This will probably not work out unless I get the leap. Yeah, I didn't even get the leap. That's really unfortunate. I'm gonna use this to try and make sure that I still get... No, I don't even get it! I tried so hard. Did not get far at all. Okay. Zap, and then dual cast, and then defend, and we're still not where we need to be in order to actually... get the fight ending bonus. However, you do get Hand of Greed off. Pendib, every 10th attack you play deals double damage, as well as All for One multicast and creative AI. All for One does rely on actually picking up some 0-cost cards, and that's going to be really difficult for us. Multicast is complete garbage for us, and so is creative AI. We're going to be... It's going to be essential. We're a little bit faster than either of those cards are really going to allow us to do. Especially with the Sundial, the Bag of Marbles and the Pendib in the deck, I'm looking more towards attacks. So honestly, All for One does, like, maybe a little bit, All for One. It could bring back Zap and Dual Cast over those, after those are upgraded. It's just only in shops am I going to be able to get the cards that synergize with that. That's the thing. Each of these, well, not each of these, right? So creative AI, not necessarily, but the other two definitely need other cards to work with them in order to actually be useful. And considering we are going to have like a severe lack of cards, it's a little bit hard, a little bit rough, a little bit tough. I think I have to turn these down. First upgrade's just going to be the Hand of Greed. I want the extra damage, but also the extra gold does not hurt. Yep. I'm pretty well resolved to the fact that I'm going to end up taking a decent chunk of damage in this fight. Apparently, by the way, the only words I'm capable of saying are decent chunk. I've noticed that recently. I'm kind of overusing that phrase. That's my apologies for that. Making sure to do the block here because I know that I've got the Hand of Greed in the next hand, and that's the kill for the gold. I need the gold as well to try and get more cards. Core Surge, Machine Learning, and Hyper Beam. I love the idea of taking Hyper Beam or Core Surge here. Machine Learning, like, all of these are cards that don't need other cards to work with them, so they're cards that I can actually afford to... Oh! I realize why I had enough money now in the previous shop. It's because each of the 2 cards that I bought at the start gave me 7 gold, which gave me enough money to actually end up buying the Leap. Thank you, Ceramic Fish. But getting back to this, maybe Hyper Beam, just because we need some AoE. It's going to be really hard to get some AoE. Bronze Scale, started combat with 3 Thorns. Sure. Oh, speaking of AoE. Hopefully it's like Equilibrium defend this turn. Ooh, that's good. Equilibrium defend. Okay. How do I do this correctly? Because we've got the pen nib in 3. So if I Hand of Greed you, strike you, then Hyper Beam, we get to kill, and we also get the Hand of Greed off. Warpaint, a bump upgrade to random skills, and there's also a buffer Meteor Strike and a Creative Eye here. Meteor Strike is going to be real tough for us to play. But with an Equilibrium, Hand of Greed, and a Hyper Beam already in the deck, Snecko Eye already looks pretty good to me. As well as pretty much anything else that's going to offer us extra energy. I kind of want to take the Meteor Strike speculatively here. Buffer is almost certainly just a better choice, but I want to try. Again, really can't afford to do that. Okay. Definitely Equilibrium and Strike, setting up for a Hyper Beam. Yeah, I can't afford to wait for the Hand of Greed there. Data Disc started combat with 1 focus, as well as Thunder Strike, another Hyper Beam, and Multicast. I'm pretty happy to take the second Hyper Beam here as well. Remove a card from my deck for 50 here. So if I was to remove a card from my deck at this point, it would be Zap, just because, like, the Hyper Beams, the Plasma is not affected by focus, gain, or loss. So Meteor Strike and Hyper Beam both being in the same deck, completely fine, incredibly good. But if I take the Zap out, I can pretty much start ignoring all orb-based things. The Data Disc is nice, but with 2 Hyper Beams in the deck and those providing the largest amount of my AoE, it's not important. Also, the deck being a little bit thinner for the sake of the Sundial is not a bad thing. Love to be able to play that Hyper Beam. Really can't afford to if I want to try and keep my bonus here. Gonna need an Equilibrium and a defend this turn. Oh, sweet. Oh my god. Absolutely sweet. Okay. Let's leap. Strike, strike. Beautiful. I'm just setting up for the Hyper Beam. Oh, good lord. Get him. All right, give me the Hand of Greed this turn, please. Oh my god, incredible. Shovel, you can dig for relic and rest sites. All right, let's get every relic in the game. I kind of want to take another Hyper Beam here. I definitely don't need them anymore, but maybe I get a collector's bonus on the Hyper Beams. Who knows? It is hard to dig for a relic here, considering that, like, Hyper Beam upgrades for it's not 6, it's 8 extra damage. Wow. But there are 3 Hyper Beams. Yeah, I'm digging. I want all the relics in the game. Should have dual cast first there, actually. That's my bad. Alright, now I just need to get back to one of the Hyper Beams, so I'm hoping to defend quite effectively here. That's 15 incoming, and I can block for less than that. Alright, we're going to be taking damage. Damn. Really, really thought this was going to be just a little bit higher in the deck. Unfortunately, when you have this many enemies on the field, like, this is kind of just your life. That's okay. Guess I'm not really going for score. Let's go for a strike first, just to get the Hyper Beam that ends the match, getting us closer to the pen nib. Machine Learning, Rainbow, and Thunderstrike. I don't really want any of these. Thunderstrike and Rainbow for obvious reasons, but Machine Learning, I don't need an extra card per turn. I need the ability to play the cards that I draw right. Let's snack away. Got him. Got him! Get got. Alright. Now we're looking for Necronomicon. Speculative. Oh. I don't know why I called it speculative. I knew what was coming. I'd seen it. Boom. Bam. Defense. Obviously, I'm waiting for the Hand of Greed here. Never mind. Got a kill. Enemy would have died against me anyway, but also the pen nib I didn't want to waste in this fight. Liquid Bronze, gain 3 Thorns. Yeah, man, yeah, it's not that great. Spin the wheel. Please don't curse me. Ooh, card removal. Dual cast probably. Super cheap and very ineffective after I play my first Hyper Beam. Go Equilibrium, Hand of Greed Strike. Yeah, no, there's nothing I can do past that. Alright, Murder. Singing Bowl, when adding cards to your deck, you may raise your max HP by 2 instead. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing that at all, actually. Kind of desperately need those cards. Seriously, desperately need those cards. Alright. I'm going to gain the strength there just so that I can actually get the kill there with money. And also to free up a potion slot. Unceasing Top, if you have no cards in hand during your turn, draw a card. Happy to have it. Gosh, if only that first boss went a little bit better. Literally, if only that leap wasn't on the bottom of the deck, we were going to be completely fine. Ah, well. It happens. And by it, I mean something that rhymes with it. Oh, that looks good. Let's go Equilibrium, Defend, keeping us perfect in this fight. Strike, strike. Equilibrium means that I'm holding this, so I may as well wait just a little bit longer here. Meteor Strike, Hyper Beam, and then finish him with the Hand of Greed. Bottled Lightning upon pickup chooses skills. Started combat without your opening hand, as well as Reboot, Amplify, and Buffer. Buffer is great here now. Get a Equilibrium in my opening hand so that I can use that more commonly for setup. Oh my good gosh. Alright, striking the backline there actually means they'll die as they hit me. Thanks to the Thorns. Mummified Hand, whenever you play a power card, a random card in hand costs 0 for the rest of the turn. You have to love the Mummified Hand with... oh, hang on. Vulnerability, 26, 39. 39. Yeah, that's fine. Do that. That. Let her open on. Whenever you play 3 skills in a single turn, deal 5 damage to all enemies, as well as a regen potion, as well as nothing I can really take there. Juicy Bracelet. Normal enemy encounters are no longer encountered in question mark rooms. Gotta love that. Hopefully I get more, no wait, you can't get elite prize from that. Never mind. I was about to say a dumb thing. I'm also going to use my Essence of Steel here to keep my perfect in this fight, because I sincerely believe that we will be able to get the Gremlin Leader perfectly here. There we go. So I effectively just spent that in order to get, what, 25? Bottle Flame obviously puts a Meteor Strike in the opening hand. Obviously another Meteor Strike. Yes, I know that Echo Form was there. Meteor Strike and Meteor Strike returns energy to me. Still the better idea. In my honest opinion. Am I willing to take damage here in order to get money? Yes, because money helps my score. Damage doesn't downgrade my score at all here. I'm taking a real chunk of damage here, though. There you go. Gotta love that buffer. Also, by the way, oh, Snickerwise trash. I can't believe you ever take that Rhapsody. Sometimes you roll low, sometimes you roll high. The point is to be able to navigate the downsides of RNG and maximize on the upsides. Come on, Hand of Greed. Nope. Fine. Molten Egg, whenever you get an attack card to the deck, upgrade it. Love it. Like more Hyper Beams and Meteor Strikes now, please. Let's go Meteor Strike into Hyper Beam. Hand of Greed me. Come on, give me that greed. Ready to get greedy. Beautiful. In fact, not only am I ready to get greedy, I'm waiting for another. I could draw it this turn. Dang it. Ah, no! I wasted the pen doing that. Damn it. Happy Flower every 3 turns gain an extra energy, as well as a pre-upgraded Hyper Beam. Yeah, I just asked for that. So, literally asked for it. Ah, interesting. Remove all strikes, obtain 5 bites. So those 5 bites will be pre-upgraded as a result of the Molten Egg. And they also provide me a collector's bonus. So, yes. Meteor Strike returns a bunch of energy to me, allowing me to bite. Bite. Yeah, bite. Hand of Greed. Archibeko, your first attack each combat deals 8 additional damage. And another Hyper Beam, sure. Yeah, why not? Dig for another relic. Getting the wing boots, you may ignore the room, may ignore paths when choosing the next room to travel to 3 times. I'm gonna hit so many elites. Gosh, if only I perfected the first boss. If only. Oh, this could be so insane. Sweet. All right. I have a Beam Hand of Greed, actually. Even get that gold. Love it. Seek, Electrodynamics, and Fission. That's a little harder for me to take, any of those. Obviously, Electrodynamics for obvious reasons, Fission for obvious reasons as well. Seek, because basically, unless it's 0 cost, I might as well just not have it in my deck and draw other cards instead. Especially considering how thin my deck actually is. So I'll take the thing there, that is to save the max HP, and a weak potion to try and get myself a future collector's bonus. Gain energy at the start of each of your turn. Future card wards have 2 less cards to choose from. Is going to be a little bit of a problem for us, especially if I want to try and get Meteor Strike as collector's bonus. Astrolabe, transform 3 cards and then upgrade them. Yeah, fine. It's not great. It's not bad. Sacred Bark, double the effectiveness of potions. I suspect that's actually what I'm going to go for. I don't need the extra energy right now. I sincerely don't. Okay, so unfortunately, all of the elites so far are Kalinia. So basically, it looks like my best path is running up here, hitting those elites, hitting those, and then jumping across at the very end. This also gets me a really early shop, though, which I do love. Got him. Rough fight. Smiling Mask, the merchant's card removal service now always costs 50 gold. Another Meteor Strike is on offer there. Definitely want to take that. Maybe I take the Glacier as well. Whenever you shuffle the draw pile, gain 6 block. That's actually basically every other turn for us. Take both of those quite naturally. Kind of want to remove a standard defend from the deck, or maybe even a bite. I need the defense more than I need the bite. Fine. Get rid of a bite. White Beast statue. Potions always appear in combat rewards as well as the Dark Sun and Periapt. Whenever you obtain a curse, increase your max HP by 6. I'll take the White Beast statue. Do I have a shop later on in this floor? Not a guaranteed one, but I can elect to take one later if I want. Yeah, don't really want any of those. Actually, I can even jump over to this shop and then jump back. Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. Claw, Rip and Tear, Skim, Leap, Violence. Oof, yikes. Strength Boon, cards with Exhaust, when played, will instead discard 50% of the time. We have none of those. Dreamcatcher. Yikes. I actually hate the shop so much that I'm probably just going to bounce. Second Leap. I'm not going to get a collector's bonus on Leap, so I shouldn't do that. Oh well, hopefully I didn't miss something really good in the question mark I ignored. Hyper. Tungsten Rod, whenever you lose HP, lose 1 less, as well as another Leap, Ball, Lightning, and Turbo. Here I'm going more max HP. I'm going to drop the Gambler's Brew and take the attack potion with the Sacred Bark. Could give me the ability to just reach for lethal. Upgrade all cards, you can no longer heal. I don't really ever heal so far at all. Sure. Defends. Definitely drop a giant Meteor Strike there. Let's go. Buffer, defend. Defends. I mean, with the boot especially, I should definitely throw out those bites. Great. Let's go Giant Hyper Beam. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to use what I wanted to get the kill there. All these smooth stones started combat with Dex, as well as another buffer. Amplify and multicast. I'll take another buffer. I'm also going to drop, I think, the weak potion for the fear potion. I don't need to weaken my enemies as much as I need to delete them from the game immediately. Let's go for a dig. Gold-plated cables. The rightmost orb triggers its passive an additional time. Meteor Strike is just here to refund a bunch of my energy when I want it. Oh my gosh. So it is. Meteor Strike. Another Meteor Strike. Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam. Vajra started combat with 1 strength. Yeah, that's really going to be the strength that cinches this. The game was, you know, I didn't know if I was going to be able to win, but I think with that strength, I might actually have the ability. Whetstone will pick up upgrade your random attacks. Yeah, Witch attacks. Nash, Panacea, and Bandage up. Don't really want any of those. Mind Blast, kind of garbage for us. Dramatic Entrance and Trip, no. Yep. Effectively here, I've just gained some max HP. Not current HP, mind, because we can't actually gain the current HP as well as the max HP due to the Mark of the Bloom. But I'm looking to try and get a score bonus. So the default health for the defect is 70, right? It's hard to remember because you have lower max HP starting in higher Ascension runs, and my numbers have become used to that. So 70 means that increasing by 30 is obviously 100. I'd have to turn down a lot of cards. I might get like a pear or a mango or even a strawberry that'd help us cross that line. I'm gonna hold here, see if I get a Hand of Greed. In fact, I'll hold again. There we go. Omamori, negate the next curses you obtain. Yeah, we are ignoring those. Another buffer? Okay, one away from collector's bonus there now. Kunai, every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain a dex. Yeah, I don't always really care about that at all. Let's go Meteor, Meteor, Bite. Oh, Hand of Greed's just short. And it won't be able to do it next turn anyway. Oh well. As long as I have 4 attacks this turn, we're fine, thanks to the bolt. Or I could just buffer up and wait. Or I could even just naturally block it. Any which way. Guess my goal is now to try and actually get the money out of this fight again. Enemy's just going to die against me here, but I do keep my pen nib later for later combats. Enemy still hasn't died against me. Oh, was Intangible reducing the damage of the thorns? I didn't think it did that. Alright. Got it. Eternal Feather, for every 5 cards in your deck, heal 3 HP whenever you enter a rest site, and Entropic Brew doesn't have a secondary effect as a result of the corn chip. Fill all of your empty potion slots with random potions. The others have their effects doubled, right? 6 vulnerable rather than 3, add 2 copies, add 2 copies. Don't want any of those. On then, Giant Head. Gotta love how many buffs I get at the start of each combat. Yeah, absolutely do. Oh gosh, I forgot that I had the Unceasing Top. I actually could have played the Glacier and kept playing there for a while, I believe. Sweet. Art of Wars, also Power Potion. Power Potion is probably more powerful than a colorless for us. Not a Hyper Beam. Fine. Dig one final time, getting the Stone Calendar at the end of turn 7. If we reach it, deal 52 damage to all enemies. Somehow I feel like we're not going to reach it. 2 copies of Electrodynamics? I'm about to play a Hyper Beam this turn. I don't think that's going to help us. I'm going to go 2 copies of Machine Learning. Meteor Strike, into Meteor Strike, into Bite, Hyper Beam, Defense. Ooh, Glacier and keep going. Let's go. Unceasing Top has got my back here. 1 turn, 1 kill. Let's go. Come on. Come on, game. Good. So, I mean, I probably should have targeted deck with that. Yeah, I need to even out the damage. I've got more Hyper Beams in the deck. Hyper Beam. Nope. I should try and generate attack, see if I can find a Hyper Beam. Nope. Okay. Just a little more. Come on. We can... No! So close. So close to that turn 1 kill right there. Oh well. Finish him off with a Meteor Strike, and that's the daily. If only I'd perfected the first boss, this would be so good. I'd have 100 more on that score, actually. So we got Money, Collector, Welfare, 2 copies of Collector for the, I'm guessing, Hyper Beams and Bites. Unfortunately, we were one off on both the Meteor Strikes and the buffers. That actually would have been really helpful. We did get combo. Great. Happy to see that. That was probably at the end there even. Overkill. Nice. 2 perfects. We would have gotten 100 more with just 1 more perfect because it would have been beyond perfect. Shame. Yeah, I went for every possible available elite, which I think is just the correct idea to do with this set of modifiers. I like Shiny and Light Speed. Neat. I think this is actually a high score. I was having a look at this before. So literally, if I'd drawn the leap, there were 6 cards on the bottom of my deck. 1 of them was leap. If I had drawn the leap on that turn, rather than the leap being the bottom card on the deck, which was just a 1 in 6 for it to be the bottom card on the deck and not drawn in that next hand. Although I couldn't have known how many of the enemies were attacking, so obviously I couldn't have planned around it. But had I drawn that leap, we would have 100 more. I would be number 1. Dang it! That would have been so good! Well, I'm just gonna have to get number 1 again in a different video. For the moment, though, my name is Rhapsody, the name of the game has been Slay the Spire. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.